Welcome everybody to today's session, the Gold and Silver Club Commodity Markets Outlook for the 22nd to the 26th of February 2016, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we'll be analysing the latest developments in the commodity markets. We'll be discussing our outlook for the week ahead. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodity markets. We'll review the top trades of the week. We'll cover live market commentary, trading ideas for the week ahead, and of course we'll keep it very interactive. Any questions you have during the session, do make sure you post those into the chat. Let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is the world's #1 commodities trading and investment coaching company. We are regarded as the go-to authority on commodities trading, as internationally respected experts. Our analysis and our opinions on the metals, the energies and the agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications which include Bloomberg, Reuters, CNBC, Global Banking and Finance Review and the Wall Street Journal. And our team of experts has trained, mentored over 100,000 private traders from all over the world to increase their wealth and generate a substantial monthly income through commodities using our signature trading strategies. So for more information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do feel free to visit our website, which is www.thegoldensilverclub.com. So we'll move over and we'll have a look at the price of gold. Currently this morning we're currently trading at $1,206 per ounce after coming down for a retest of the 1200 level this morning. So gold is looking very interesting as we head into the US session this afternoon. Oil, definitely one to watch as well, and we'll take a look at that very shortly on the charts with you all. Before we do so, we'll discuss our top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So first of all, we had a nice breakout and a continuation pattern just last week on gold, where we had a pullback and that just developed into a pennant formation, giving us an opportunity to get back into this trade for a long, which has delivered over 290 points. In fact, we had a lovely spike to the upside on Thursday, hitting session highs of $1,239 per ounce. We also entered into a buy on light sweet crude oil and also Brent crude oil as well on breaking news last week of Iran's oil minister supporting the decision by OPEC and non-OPEC producers to keep a ceiling on oil production. So that immediately had a positive impact, and in fact oil is rallying again today, which I'll go through in more detail with you. So these have been swing positions, so we've benefited over 360 points return on light sweet crude oil, and we've also benefited from a breakout on Brent crude oil, which is over 310 points of profit, which I'll discuss both of those with you very shortly as we move over to the charts. So we'll move it over now. We'll have a look at the live technicals. If you've got any questions at all, as I mentioned before, do keep those coming into the chat and we will cover those in detail as we look at each of the markets. First market I want to cover today is going to be the gold market. So gold right now, we've had a bit of a pullback after last week. We broke out to $1,239 per ounce on Thursday, and you can see at the moment we are developing a pennant formation at the moment on gold. So if you just take into account the recent lows, which are higher lows on the chart, and the recent highs, we've essentially got a pennant formation, and we're looking to see whether this, whether we're going to hold onto this formation and whether the 1200 level, which we've retested today, is going to be seen as a buying opportunity for traders to re-enter long at this level. If it does present a buying opportunity and we do see a rally from this zone, it could be a good opportunity if you haven't got a position on gold to certainly have a look at that. So in terms of gold so far this year, gold does remain one of the best performing assets of the year with a 15% gain year to date so far. We also saw on Friday the other data from the CFTC report showed speculators hiked their bullish bets in COMEX gold futures and options to a near 4-month high. So that has really helped to cause gold to break out to 1-year highs and to be the best performing commodity of 2016. So right now we have had a pullback today during the course of the UK session. What I want to see is whether this afternoon this pullback will get bought into and whether we'll start to move back up towards the upper end of this trend channel. Ultimately, if we were to take out last week's highs here, particularly the high from Thursday, and then if we were to take out that level, we could really start to see a build build up in pressure back towards the upper end of this resistance. You'll note there will be a lot of buying orders sat around the previous high from January. If we do breach above that level, in fact from the first week of February, if we breach above the highs here, we could really start to see momentum pick up to the upside here on gold. If you look at the weekly charts, you'll also note the formation here. We've got a rejection candle last week. If that follows through this week, we could see quite a lot of additional buying. On the flip side of that, if we were to break through key support here, just on the left of the chart, if we broke and closed below these levels, we could start to see a further rotation lower, taking it back down to next major supportive levels here on the chart. Okay, so do keep an eye out for that on gold, but at the moment, to be decided by the US session. Now, I would just have a look at the inverse correlations here. If we just go over to equities, and it's worth just noting where the S&P 500 is sitting in context to the price of gold right now. We have seen a large breakout over the last week and a half. We saw, in fact, a low be put into the S&P 500 about a week and a half ago, and this also inversely correlated to the high that we put in with gold. And since we've been continuing to rotate higher here on stocks on the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones, we've seen that put pressure on gold as well. Now, we can see that the S&P sitting at key resistance at the moment. We're utilizing this purely for the inverse correlation at the moment. And if we were to see a breakout and further follow through at the moment with the S&P 500, that would put some pressure on gold. And we could also see some good follow through here with oil. Now we'll move it over to oil. I want to discuss the overall price structure right now. So Brent and light sweet crude oil are looking interesting. So last week, again midweek, we had Iran's oil minister supporting the decision by OPEC and non-OPEC producers to keep a ceiling on oil production. We saw a bit of a pullback over Thursday and Friday. However, into the close on Friday, we had the Baker Hughes oil rig count, and that has been supportive. So oil prices, they have risen today as a fall in the number of US oil drilling rigs numbers lifted the prospects of lower crude production, and we've seen a bounce in the stock markets as well, which has also been encouraging for the sentiment. Now, important to note, the US rig count fell on Friday to its lowest level since December 2009 on the Baker Hughes. So that has provided some support here for oil, and you can see at the moment Brent crude oil is a bit of a rally at the moment. In fact, we're getting above some key moving averages on the chart, and we look like we're getting very close to actually clearing above Friday's highs here. So we're building a bit of a base. We've got overhead resistance here, but if we are able to follow through this week with oil, we could start to see a basing formation here, and I would be looking at opportunities for potential breakout trades here. We're not quite there at the moment, but it is encouraging that we can see on the chart that we are creating higher lows on the chart. We've also had quite a few retests of key resistance sitting at $36 per barrel for Brent crude oil. If we were to break above this zone, particularly if we break and close above it, you can see there's a lot of overhead resistance. We could start to see a bit of a pop here for oil, and we would be very interested in that trade. So I would definitely keep an eye on oil here as we progress through the week. We've also got a very similar price structure on light sweet crude oil as well as Brent crude oil right now, but I would favor Brent at the moment. The overall price structure is slightly stronger. We've already broken above some key moving averages on Brent as well, so definitely that is one for your watch list. If we go and have a look at the other metals, we move it over and we'll just have a look at silver and also platinum. So silver did pull back in the earlier part of the European session this morning. We saw a bit of a breakdown, but again we want to see whether silver is going to be bought into here. You will note it did break below last week's lows here. We can see we've got a V-shaped reversal formation. You can see we've broken lower. What I want to see here is whether silver will be bought into the US session, whether this pullback here will be taken as an opportunity for traders just to buy at a better entry price, or whether we'll see follow through. You can see already actually that silver's already starting to retrace at the moment, so it's going to be important to see whether silver develops a rejection candle by the close today, or whether it follows through and we start to see it breaking down further. And again, we're at a very important point today because the US dollar has had quite a significant breakout. We've seen other markets in inverse correlation, such as the pound, break down significantly this morning, and that has helped the US dollar to get a big boost today. So we've seen the US dollar boosted, we see stock markets boosted today, we're seeing a pullback on the precious metals, and we're seeing oil rally this morning as well. So it's really cracking up to be a very potentially explosive US session this afternoon. So there's lots for us to keep an eye on today. So we're very interested to see how the markets are going to progress over the US session, and whether these pullbacks on the metals are going to be taken as buying opportunities. Okay, so if we move over and we have a look at platinum. Platinum, similar situation. We pulled back this morning Platinum has come right back into a major supportive zone, which is sitting here at 917 on the chart. So you'll note we've just come back, retested that level. Again, I want to see if buyers will come back into Platinum. Platinum has had a big breakout over 2016 so far. It's had a tremendous move since it came down and retested the lows of 816, which you'll note on the much larger time frames on the monthly chart. We've had good follow through from those levels, but at the moment we're just seeing consolidation around key support at 917. So I'm keeping a very close eye on Platinum as we head into the US session this afternoon. Platinum, gold and silver, particularly gold here as well. Again, if you go over and you have a look at the price structure of gold, we've got this pennant formation which so far has been holding. So ultimately you want to see how gold performs over the US session this afternoon and also how gold closes. So whether this pullback will be seen as a buying opportunity. Between the 1180 level and the 1200 level is a very key area of support for gold to hold on any pullbacks at the moment. So if pullbacks are bought into around that zone, we could certainly see higher prices. However, if those pullbacks don't get bought into and we start to see a rolling over of price, we start to see this roll over and take out these highs from last week, these lower highs, these higher lows on the charts, we could then start to see a larger pullback here on gold. So today will be quite important for gold's price structure. Now, if we move over and we have a look at the agricultural markets, few different markets I want to just talk you through. First of all, cocoa, actually sugar we'll go over first, then we'll look at cocoa. Sugar, I do like the overall price structure at the moment. On the monthly charts, the much higher time frames, you can see where sugar is rolling over. We broke below January's lows here last week. On the weekly chart, you will note we've also got a bearish close. We've closed right below a key supportive zone. Sugar is also rolling over. You can see this major overhead resistance channel where sugar is starting to roll over, and on the daily here we've closed below support on Friday here. So we're getting a bit of a retracement today, but ultimately here on sugar I'm looking for a rotation lower here in the coming week here, particularly on higher time frames. I see this as a good position on silver to really get in on potentially a much larger fall to the downside. So sugar has not been performing well at all so far in 2016. All really I'm looking for sugar to do now is break last week's lows here as we enter a fresh week, and I'm looking for more selling pressure here. You've got a nice V-shaped reversal pattern as well. I would definitely have sugar on your radar. It looks good for a potential breakdown in price. On the inverse to that, I also see opportunities here for a buy on coffee. Coffee, we've been looking for a buying opportunity over the month of February. It looks like we're starting to get it, particularly if we breach above last week's highs here. If you look at the weekly chart, we formed a nice rejection candle the previous week. Not too much momentum last week of volatility, quite small volumes, but this week already we've started to gain some momentum. We've already breached Friday's high here, and I see the potential here again for a nice basing formation and a breakout to the upside here for coffee. So we're keeping a very close eye on coffee for a potential rotation higher here and starting to form a larger base. So coffee for me, sugar for a sell, coffee for a buy is essentially what we're looking at the moment on both of these markets. Although coffee hasn't confirmed us that move yet, we're looking at that in the short term. Cocoa, the overall price structure as well, it looks like we're setting up with a bear flag at the moment on cocoa, so we're keeping an eye out for the potential bear flag formation. It's not confirmed just yet. Cocoa again has not performed well so far in 2016. It's been consolidating over the last couple of weeks here, but if we break the lows, we could see a breaking of Friday's lows here, and if we do that, we could see the potential for a bear flag and just take it back down to major support. So also keeping an eye on cocoa for a sell short opportunity. So I do see that price structure as looking good for a potential sell short. As well as that, I would also definitely have on your radar the grains. Now we have seen a nice breakout to the upside with corn today, and I'll just bring that across to you. So corn we've seen today breaking out to 2-week highs on US exports and Argentine floods. So far we've seen corn, certainly it looks on course to take out last week's highs here. Had a gap on the open today, nice V-shaped reversal pattern forming as well. So I do like corn for potentially more upside. The fundamentals are supporting more upside here on corn as well. I do also like wheat at these levels now as well. So typically wheat and corn are very strongly correlated. Wheat recently came off its swing lows here at the beginning of February. It's been building a base from those zones. If you go out to the larger time frames, we produced quite a strong rejection candle a couple of weeks ago here on wheat. Wheat is a slower mover. Both corn and wheat tend to be slower movers. This we're looking at for more of a longer term trade, and we're looking for more upside in the weeks to come here, but ultimately we've had a reasonable move so far on Monday. Certainly on corn we've had the bigger move, but I'm looking for more upside here on wheat as well. And soybeans too has also followed through with some nice momentum. We gapped on the open today, and you can see we're sitting right at key resistance. So I want to see as well whether we will see a breakout above this resistance zone too with soybeans. So ultimately some nice setups which might develop here as we go into the US session. So keeping a very close eye here on soybeans as well. So ultimately today I would say really the hot markets to have on your watch list. In terms of the agricultural markets, I would definitely keep an eye on sugar. We've got the potential for a nice sell-off there. I would keep an eye on coffee. We've got the potential for a breakout starting to already move above Friday's high, so I do like that for a longer term position. Gold, you want to see whether we will hold on to the lower end of this trend channel. You can see the daily low on gold has been 1201, so it looks like so far gold has been bid up at the 1200 level, so want to see whether we close the day or the US session if we start to ramp up and get back above 1210 and start to form a rejection candle from the lower end of this pennant. So that will be very interesting to see if we do get bought on this pullback on gold. That might present some good opportunities to get back into this if we hold the overall strong price structure we've got at the moment, and keeping a very close eye as well on oil, particularly Brent crude oil, which is starting to build a base. It's just about taking out its highs from Friday here, so you can see some key moving averages here. Also we're getting above. We've just got some overhead resistance at 36 US dollars per barrel to get through, but the Baker Hughes report from Friday is providing some solid confluence for potentially more upside in the day here as we head into the US session this afternoon. So it looks like we're setting up for a nice active session. The US dollar has had quite a large surge overnight, and we've also seen stock markets also have a break to the upside and coming into key resistance. So this afternoon will be very important for the commodity markets. Now, if you would like to gain access to our analysis just throughout the week, so you can join our live trading rooms at the Gold and Silver Club, there is an opportunity for you to do so. All you need to do is just go across to www.theprivatetradersclub.com, so you can become a member of the Private Traders Club, and you have access to join us on our live trading rooms throughout the week where we provide live trade analysis for all of our traders. All of those sessions are also recorded, so if you happen to miss a session, you can rewatch all of the live analysis as we talk through our strategies, the open positions, trade management, the exact entry, exit and take profit levels on all of our trades, and more specifically the trade management around those trades as well. A lot of our trades that we're taking are swing trades and mid to longer term positions, so you don't need to be constantly taking on trades throughout the day, multiple trades all day long, which essentially is not a good strategy for the profitability of your portfolio. You will also get access to the Master Markets trading course. That's a very comprehensive commodities trading program. So that includes everything from risk management, very important, trade management around those trades. You get all of the indicators that we use at the Gold and Silver Club, and you can go through our trading course step by step, module by module, includes all of the strategies that we trade at the Gold and Silver Club as well. Very comprehensive program for you to really take your commodities trading to the next level. You do also get access to our trade management system throughout the week. So the trades that we are taking, you also get to see the exact trades, the entry levels, the exit levels, the trade management of all of those trades. You get updated real time about all of the trades that we're taking at the Gold and Silver Club. So that trade management system, you are updated every step of the way for each of the trades that we're in, and you get access to our email support line where you can get all of your questions answered, so anything from the trading course, technical setups, any market related queries at all. And you also get access to the inside track. So it's a week ahead trading plan which is produced every single weekend, where it gives you all of the main trades that we are looking at for the week ahead, the main trading opportunities, the management of our open positions, goes through fundamentals, goes through technicals, everything really to give you an edge and set you up for the week ahead. So essentially all you need to do is go across to www.theprivatetradersclub. If you go down to the bottom, enroll here now, once you click on that tab to enroll here now, you'll be taken to the application form, and you just need to make sure you complete all the fields, and once you've clicked apply now, a member of our team will get in touch with you ASAP. You can also call us up, so depending on which office is closest to you, you can call us up on a UK or USA, Africa or Asia number. The UK number is +44 0207 193 0403. USA is +1 646 808 0403. Our African number is +27 11 083 8403, or you can call our Asia office, which is +852 8191 0403. So if you are ready to take your trading to the next level, again, very simply, either contact us on the numbers on the screen or just go across to www.theprivatetradersclub.com.